Aw, they grow up so fast. But what the? Why create a love triangle with the twins, though, author Nim? Before we get started, I just want to remind our viewers that if you like seeing more yaoi content and would like to support this channel, please don't forget to smash that like button. Also, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Feel free to message me in my social media, which I'll be using to interact with viewers about more yaoi content. If that's something that interests you, feel free to follow me at ZEALED FUJOSHI. Finally, this episode will contain explicit content and a lot of manhwa spoilers. With that in mind, please proceed with caution. You have been warned. Now, without further ado, let's jump into chapter 95 of HIT앤런. Author Nim is really making it so hard that there are so many possibilities in this series right now. Oh my god. My expectations with the epilogue stories about the kids were really low. But now I'm sort of excited with all of the possibilities that could happen. So let's break this down on what's going on in this second generation of this series. Possibility number 1. Remember when Lia grabbed Joe Ian's shirt during his first year birthday, during that Korean ceremony? It looked like he went for the baseball, but it fell. And then Ian went to pick it up. And then Lia grabbed Ian. I think this was a foreshadowing that, who he could pick, because Juho looks like Ian and Jay is a baseball player and looks like his dad. Everyone thinks that Lia might pick Jay, but if this possibility is correct, just because Lia grabbed Ian while he was having his first birthday party, and since Juho looks like Ian, he might pick Juho. Plus they are really close right now. More likely that Juho will be some type of latent recessive alpha, and maybe will be triggered by Lia. Or maybe the story that the author will go with is he could also be a beta, and that their love transcends their biology. We all know Lia likes Juho since she was a baby. But why the author is confusing us is the interesting part in this series right now, because the author is trying to segue us to think that we're getting a goddamn love triangle, because there's also possibility number 2, that Juho, being a latent alpha, recessive in other stories, really does seem like it's an interesting story plot. And seeing that most guesses think that he might also be like Ian. I mean, Juho might be like Ian. Going the other way though, which might be a little bit surprising, because he might turn out to be an Omega instead of being an Alpha. And if Lia ends up liking Juho, who turns out to be an Omega, then it's not gonna work out. So that gives us way to our possibility number 3. Remember Lia mentioning that he grabbed the baseball during his rock party, but really he grabbed Ian. But he didn't really grow up liking sports, and I think it is the author's subtle foreshadowing that Lia might end up with a sportsman. And I'm guessing that Juho, just like Ian, just has barely any pheromones, that people just assumes that he's a beta, even though Juho is really an omega. And again, sportsman. I think also that Lia's first love could also be Jae. But because Lia and Juho are very close, Jae probably thought that Lia has feelings for Juho. And Juho could be feeling the same way as Jae. Feeling the same way about, Lia. Or just being unfortunately stuck in the middle of all of these. So maybe Jae doesn't want the whole love triangle thing, so he's just giving away because maybe he thinks that since Lia already likes Juho, just let them be. Maybe that's the possibility of what's going on here, why he's dedicating his life also to sports instead of pursuing Lia. But if Juho turns out to be an omega, just like Ian, then there's absolutely no way that Lia and Juho are gonna end up together. In the very end, Lia will end up with Jae. And I kind of expected this is outside of the whole trio of Juho, Jae, and Lia. But going to the other kids, I kind of expected that Ssona to be an omega. If Juho is a beta, I kind of really do think he might as well just turn to an omega, like what happened to Ian. And imagine Noah, sweet Noah, having the same personality as Matthew. Oh my god, poor Juho. Noah is gonna pout his way into Juho's heart. Poor guy. And if you're confused, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who's reading this series is really confused on who is whose son and who is whose brother. So yeah, I understand. They are confusingly very similar to one another. But the way I look at this is Jae is the brown-haired baseball player in this series, and Juho is the blonde pretty boy, ironically, who looks like Matthew, but he is not Matthew's son. Both Jae and Juho is Jaeho and Ian's twin older sons. Okay, got it. They're the twins that Ian gave birth to. While Lia is the oldest in this group, because remember, Hayoung and Matthew had their kid before Ian and Jaeho ever did. So Lia is the oldest in this group, only by a couple of months, to be honest. Lia is Hayoung and Matthew's oldest child. Okay, I hope this helps. Ssona, the blonde girl, is the younger sister of the twins, Jae and Juho. So I hope that clears up. Anyway, going back to the story. My personal opinion, I really do think that Juho is literally screaming Omega vibes, even though he's really good looking and everything. I really do think that he might really be like his mama Ian, where Ian doesn't look like an Omega when he was first introduced to this series, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the same thing that's going on here. You guys also have to look at Lia's reaction in this chapter while looking at Jay's baseball picture, right? He's totally blushing. It's so obvious that Lia is very fond of Juho. Yes, that is true. Because I think like they're kind of like the same trait. But I think that Lia is really liking Jay with his heart and Juho just as a friend, right? Because I'm a firm believer that opposites attract, especially if it's your match. Also, just to confirm, a lot of people are saying that Juho might turn out to be an alpha. But remember, right now we're all just second guessing because I don't think that they actually did reveal whether he is an alpha or an omega. So we are all just assuming. All of the theories I said in this chapter is all just an assumption. So I hope you like my theories. Anyway, the whole plot of this second season is the readers are left guessing who among the twins is Lia's first love. Lia only said that the day the twins left, his first love also left, but never really told us which of the twins was his first love. Although the last two panels showed both Juho and Jay. So there's really a lot of room for guessing in this series right now, and that's really what's really fun in this second season right now. I'm not a big fan of the whole twin love triangle thing, because that's a lot of angst if we're gonna go through that. I really do think that the author is gonna follow his recipe from the first season, where there's really not a lot of angst in the series. Everything, even if there is a misunderstanding, it will be fixed in a couple of chapters, and I am expecting the same thing to happen in this second season. We will find out really soon. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to follow my social media to be teased about some of the boys' love that I'm interested in. Feel free to leave me a message and converse with me in my Discord channel. I'd love to hear back from you. And please consider supporting the show by donating as little as 99 cents through www.zealedfujoshi.xyz. Also, don't forget to support the author. All the manhwa details can be found in the description below. Again, thank you so much and hope to see you next time.